Hey, I'm Jusko from ProudMoney.com. Rocket Mortgage launched a new credit card last week, and on the surface, it looks pretty good, but when you dig a little deeper, maybe not so much. It could have a use case for sort of just the right person, but for most people, probably going to be a tough sell. So we're going to break it down in this video, and I will tell you why I'm not overly excited about what it's offering. The Rocket Visa Signature Card has a $95 annual fee unless you are a current Rocket Mortgage customer, in which case that annual fee is waived. In terms of the everyday rewards on this card, you are going to get 5 points per dollar on all of your purchases with this card. No categories to worry about. Everything gets you 5 points per dollar. Now on the surface, you might look at that and say, this is the holy grail of credit cards. It's giving me 5 points per dollar on everything. It's going to be 5% on all of the things that I buy. Well, it's not quite that simple. Because even though you're getting 5 points per dollar, the value of the points is so wildly different when you go to actually redeem them that it doesn't even matter how many points you're getting per dollar. The truth of the matter is you've got 3 redemptions and you're either going to be getting 5% as a reward, 2% as a reward, or 1.25% as a reward. So let's look at those 3 redemptions, and as an example, let's say you spent $10,000 with the card and got yourself 50,000 points. So you could take those 50,000 points and you could use them toward a new Rocket mortgage, which means you could use the points toward your down payment or toward the closing costs on your mortgage. In that case, those 50,000 points would be worth $500. And again, that's on $10,000 worth of spend. So that would be a 5% reward. So if you get a new mortgage from Rocket Mortgage, you're going to get that full 5%. Now you could also take those same 50,000 points and you could use them if you are an existing Rocket Mortgage customer to pay down the principal on your Rocket Mortgage loan. In this case, however, those 50,000 points are going to be worth $200. Now remember, we said this is on a $10,000 spend. So in this case, you're only getting $200 for your 50,000 points, which is a 2% reward on that initial $10,000 spend. You could also take those same 50,000 points and choose to get cash back. If you went that route, those 50,000 points are going to be worth $125. Now again, remember this is on an initial $10,000 spend on the card, which means your $125 reward is really 1.25% cash back. So as you can see, the value of those points can be very different. Now I want to delve even further into that 5% that you could get when you use it toward a Rocket Mortgage, because there are even a couple other things to consider where you might see that getting 5% isn't all it's cracked up to be. Number one is the fact that there's a $95 annual fee on this card. Yes, it's waived if you're an existing Rocket Mortgage customer, but probably for most people, if you are using this to get that 5% reward toward a new Rocket Mortgage, you probably don't already have a Rocket Mortgage. So while you're accruing your points, you're probably paying that $95 annual fee. If you're spending a lot on this card, maybe that doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but it does cut into the reward you receive. And then second, and even more important, is the fact that you have no idea how competitive Rocket Mortgage is going to be when you actually go out in the market and compare mortgage companies when you are trying to get a mortgage. So a mortgage loan, it's pretty much the same from one company to the next. It is a commodity. It's really just you are looking for the lowest rate from whoever looks like they're at least solvent enough that, you know, there's not going to be any problem. And there are a lot of mortgage companies out there. You really don't have to worry about that for the most part. So you're just going and looking for the lowest rate. You're not like, oh, I want the Rocket Mortgage brand on my mortgage. Doesn't really matter. So in this case, if you lock yourself into earning a reward with Rocket Mortgage, you're sort of not doing that comparison shopping because you've already decided, I want to use that reward for my down payment or my closing costs, and so I'm not going to look to see if maybe there was a better deal somewhere else. So you could have all these points saved up toward a Rocket Mortgage, and then later on, you either look or don't look, but you might find out that you could have gotten a better deal somewhere else that would have been cheaper for you than the Rocket Mortgage, even with all of those rewards. So Rocket Mortgage wants to lock you in because they want you to go with Rocket Mortgage and they don't want you to look at the other mortgage companies. But that's obviously something that is very important to do when you are taking on a huge loan like a mortgage. Now looking at those other two redemption options, if you are an existing Rocket Mortgage customer, like I said, you would get 2% back in rewards on this card, which isn't necessarily a bad deal. You've had the annual fee waived, but that 2% that you get back is only going to go toward your Rocket Mortgage, and it is going to go toward your Rocket Mortgage principal. So it is not part of a Rocket Mortgage payment. It's not part of one of your monthly payments. It's an extra payment on top, which isn't necessarily a terrible thing. It is paying down part of your mortgage, and over the long haul, that's going to save you a little bit of money, but you could just as easily go out on the market and get yourself a 2% cash back card like the Citi Double Cash, the Wells Fargo Active Cash, and there are others where you're getting the same 2%, but you could use it for anything you want. So you could take that 2% and you could use it toward your Rocket Mortgage regular mortgage payment if you wanted to, or you could use it toward your mortgage principal as an extra payment, or you could use it for anything else. So in this case, getting this card isn't really getting you anything more than you could get somewhere else. And then of course that third redemption option, the cash back, is just a terrible deal because it is 1.25% cash back, which already is not very good at all when you compare it to other credit cards on the market. But when you throw in a $95 annual fee on the card, assuming you're not a Rocket Mortgage customer, well then it gets really terrible. As I make this video, the card does have a $200 bonus opportunity. You can get a $200 statement credit if you spend $3,000 with the card in the first 90 days of having it. That's an okay bonus, again, if you are a Rocket Mortgage customer who is not paying the annual fee on the card. If you're paying a $95 annual fee, getting $200 as a bonus, not all that great. Couple last points to make and then we will wrap it up. First off, the Rocket Visa is being issued in partnership with the Deserve credit card platform and then technically being issued by Celtic Bank or Celtic Bank, however you say that. So Deserve is sort of the credit card partner here, kind of a co-brand relationship. This card is a Visa signature, which means there are a couple of extra benefits that might be interesting to you, even though I would think of them as sort of icing on the cake. It's really the intrinsic rewards that you want to be looking at with this card, but things like cell phone insurance, you've got extended manufacturer's warranty coverage on this card, and there's some other things as well. But again, you got to look at this card with those rewards and decide if it's right for you. Those other things are sort of nice to haves as far as I'm concerned. So overall, I would probably give this card a thumbs down. Unless you are someone that knows you're going to use Rocket Mortgage, you're going to get this card and spend a lot on it sort of in the short term so that you're not having that $95 annual fee cut in too much to the rewards you receive. So there are a few people maybe that it would make sense for, but I think for the most part it doesn't necessarily make sense. Even if you are an existing Rocket Mortgage customer, that 2%, you could get that somewhere else and get more flexibility on your reward, and then the cash back is just terrible no matter who you are. So I would love to hear your thoughts on my thoughts in that comment section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching, and as always, please go to proudmoney.com where we do credit card reviews, we talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. If you're not going to leave a comment or go to the website, the next video for you to watch right there.